What's going on, Brownie Bros? It is Big Time Brownie, your coach of the Green Bay Yampers, back for Week 7 of the UPA Showdown Division. We have another post-com for you today. We did upload last week's match yesterday. Make sure you go check that out if you haven't. We will be uploading our next match on Thursday, and then next week, hopefully, we'll be back on schedule for Week 9 of the UPA with our live comms. But today we are taking on the booming Bathgate Blacephalons. As you can see on the screen, they have Hoopa Unbound, Keldeo, Ferrothorn, Glastrier, Moltres, Nidoking, Silvally, Mudsdale, Mismagius, Mega Ampharos, and Muck. And when I first saw this team, the first thing that stood out to me was that it's pretty slow. Keldeo and Mismagius are the only things that are above base 100 speed. He could run Trick Room with Hoopa Unbound, but we do have Slowbro to underspeed. So I thought I didn't really have to run investment in a lot of my Pokemon. And the other thing that jumped out to me was Sceptile. So I basically built the team around the premise to chip everything down, especially Sceptile's counters, whether it be Muck, potentially Mega Ampharos, which is not really countered. I mean, it is because we didn't bring Dragon Claw, Muck. Also, we didn't bring Earthquake. Moltres and Glastrier and Ferrothorn. I guess those were like the biggest counters to Sceptile on the team. So, I mean, we had coverage for those, but I just needed a little bit of chip on everything, and I could get to +2 and win. So, the 6 mons we ended up bringing this week are Slowbro, Garchomp, Passimian, Tapu Koko, Arcanine, and the Sceptile. So first up is Slowbro. So I went a little bit more offensive. As you can see, we did 248 HP, 96 defense, 189 special attack, and 16 SPDEF with Quiet Nature. We're basically able to take any hit that we need to from either of his attacker, either his physical or his special attackers. Scald and Psyshock are good for good dual stab in this matchups. I didn't bring Future Sight. I wanted the immediate damage, potentially in the Trick Room against something like Nidoking or Muck, as well as potentially Keldeo. And then Scald is just an overall good move. It hits Nidoking again for super effective damage, as well as Moltres and Mudsdale. You can get the burn off, which is really good against his entire team. And then the Flamethrower is there for the Ferrothorn. And then Teleport just to get some initiative as well. And as you can see, we have 0 speed IVs just in case he does bring Trick Room. We then have our Garchomp, which is the Naive Nature with Earthquake, Flamethrower, Stone Edge, and Swords Dance. Flamethrower is there for Ferrothorn. Earthquake and Stone Edge pretty much hit everything else on his team. And we didn't need much speed, again, like I was saying. Keldeo and Mismagius outspeed us. This is enough speed to outspeed max speed Silvally. We then have our substitute bulk up Passimian with Close Combat and Rock Slide. Rock Slide can hit Moltres for super effective damage, and Close Combat really, basically punches a hole in the rest of his team. And then, so we can substitute on Ferrothorn is really what I was looking to substitute on. Maybe force a switch on Glastrier into Moltres sub and get a Rock Slide off or something. We then have our Expert Belt Tapu Koko. I was originally maybe going to run screens for our Sceptile, but Tapu Koko I thought was actually really good, and the Grass Knot could help. And the Expert Belt with like Grass Knot really helped against Mudsdale. And, it also helped do that little bit extra with Thunderbolt to Moltres and the Dazzling Gleam to Hoopa as well. So, and I thought he might, and, it could help against the Silvally as well. And then we had Defog because he does have some hazards, and that could ruin Sceptile's day, the Stealth Rock and the Spikes. We then have our Shikaberry Arcanine, which is max defense with Flamethrower, Toxic, Morning Sun, and Teleport. Toxic is there for things like Moltres, Keldeo if he wants to switch in, which, I mean, I don't think he would, but, just in case. It also is helpful for Mudsdale as well. The Shikaberry is there for the Nidoking, or for the high horsepower really is there for the high horsepower in the Trick Room from Glastrier, so we're able to intimidate it, and if he thinks he can take us out, we have the Shikaberry for that as well. And then finally, the star of our team, hopefully. Well, I mean, this match already happened, so I know what it did, but hopefully this would be the star, with which is Bluegrass or Sceptile. We didn't need to run any speed. It is Unburdened, holding the Electric Seed with 248 HP, Adamant Nature with 252 attack, Leaf Blade, Rock Slide, Drain Punch, and Swords Dance. As I said, we did not bring Earthquake for Muck. I just felt like Moltres was probably going to come. As you can see, it didn't. I thought Moltres was going to come. People just continue to not prep for Sceptile, so I went Rock Slide for Moltres. It also hits Glastrier for super effective damage. Leaf Blade at +2 does enough to Nidoking. I didn't think Muck would come. I thought, Muck didn't really have the greatest matchup against me, so I was banking on that. Rock Slide would not have been enough, really, for Muck. But we do have the Drain Punch as well for the Ferrothorn and to get some of that health back as well. So let's hop right into this match. So looking at his team, he does end up bringing Mega Ampharos, Ferrothorn, Hoopa Unbound, Nidoking, Mismagius, and the Mudsdale. When I saw the Mismagius, I immediately thought, okay, he's going to run, or I think he's going to lead Mismagius. And that's the thing. And he likes running Trick or Will-O-Wisp on Mismagius. And this Tapu Koko is a thing that I would mind getting tricked, like a Choice Scarf the least. He does end up leading with the Nidoking, though. I go hard Garchomp, which really was my only play. I thought, well, it's not my only play, but, obviously I didn't think... I thought he might just go for the Sludge Wave or the Earth Power, and I knew I could take either one of those. I didn't think he'd go for the Ice Beam. So, we go for the Earthquake. He ends up being Focus Sashed, actually, and Ice Beams and does take us out. The crit obviously does not matter. He does get the Toxic Spike up, which is really unfortunate. I'm going to go for the Dazzling Gleam here. I went for the Dazzling Gleam because obviously it takes out Nidoking. I didn't want to hard predict with the Grassy Knot quite yet because I didn't want to reveal it if he went into something else. Grass Knot. I didn't want to reveal it if he did not go out into Mudsdale. So basically, if he did go into Mudsdale, he'd stay in. If not, we still had that in our back pocket. And I didn't go for the Defog because I had to get rid of Nidoking. I couldn't let him stay in and take out our Tapu Koko here. So I just ended up going for Grass Knot because I know I take him out from this range, regardless of the set. And he does go Ferrothorn, and this is where I'm going to Defog. This was a little bit of a risky play because I guess he could have Gyro Ball, but I would have been able to take that. I think he does get his Stealth Rocks up though, and it's risky because if Tapu Koko goes down in that situation, my terrain is gone, and Sceptile no longer gets its Unburden boost, which is not the biggest deal in the world, but it would help us outspeed Mismagius, because we do naturally outspeed pretty much everything on the team, and we do get that boost as well from the Electric Seed. So he does knock off our Shuka Berry. We're just going to teleport back out into Tapu Koko, and here... so here I just go for the Thunderbolt because, I figure I just want to get my damage off on this thing, and then, if he's Scarf, Sceptile can come in and basically win. If not, I'm going to get a lot of damage onto Mismagius, and then I can bring Sceptile in. We do see he's Scarf, and I know we get our defense boost. I know that he's Scarf now, and Hex is not going to do anything because we are max HP. So we get our free Swords Dance off here. He goes for the Hex. That does only 32%, so I'm able to Swords Dance again. And he goes for another Hex. Here we're just able to go for the Leaf Blade. Now he switches into Ampharos here, and I unfortunately don't have Earthquake. He doesn't know that, but so if he stayed in there, actually, I end up going for the Drain Punch. If he stayed in there, I think he actually could have taken out Sceptile. But he does end up going into Ferrothorn to scout for the Earthquake, which I really don't understand that play, to be completely honest with you, because I feel like I don't know. I guess maybe he just didn't know Drain Punch was there, but I guess if you didn't think I had Earthquake, I would just go straight out into Ferrothorn. I don't know. To me, that was just a bit of a weird play. Maybe he just didn't expect it to do this much damage. But we are able to take out the the Ferrothorn, and now because of that, because of the health we got back, we're able to Drain Punch here and get ourselves out of the Dragon Pulse range, which is 65%. So, I mean, like, if we go back here, let's see, how much health do we end up getting from this Drain Punch? So we're at 57%, and we get 29. So we would have gone up to, I believe, 56%, and Dragon Pulse there does 65%. Right, so he could have actually taken us out if he just stayed in on Ampharos, Mega Evolved, and went for the Dragon Pulse, because we didn't have Dragon Claw or Earthquake. But because he did double there, we are able to get the health back, and we're able to just stay in and win. And Sceptile gets 5 kills, and the Swords Dance sweep, which is what, I was sort of angling for at the beginning of the game. And, because Muck wasn't there, I basically saw the opportunity to go ahead, and because he locked himself into Hex, to go ahead and start sweeping with our Sceptile here. So Bluegrass does the job. He ends up getting 5 kills. Tapu Koko gets 1. And Miss Magius and Nidoking get a kill each on his side. We pick up a 4-0 victory, and that moves us to 6-1 on the season, which is really awesome. We're in really good shape now, and that does move us to the top of the league currently, which is really exciting. Because, this is a really competitive league. I just really love this team. I think it might be my favorite team that I've ever used. This is the team that he ended up bringing. So he brought the dual hazard Ferrothorn with Toxic and Knockoff. Obviously, we saw the Focus Sash Nidoking with the Earth Power, Ice Beam, Toxic Spikes, and Taunt. And he was Trick Miss Magius with Will-O-Wisp, Hex, Taunt, and Trick. He was Salic Berry on the Hoopa Unbound with Substitute, Nasty Plot, Thunderbolt, and Dark Pulse. That's pretty cool. And then a Rest Mudsdale and an Agility Mega Ampharos. So really interesting team that he ended up bringing here. He wasn't as defensive. So even, dude, this thing is really bulky. We were at +4 in that Drain Punch. Drain Punch is not a strong move and it's not super effective, so I guess that makes sense. But I'm really happy that Sceptile was able to pick up the win. We will be back next week for, I guess we'll be back Thursday for our next battle in the UPA Showdown Division. Until then, remember, a video from Big Time keeps your life sublime. So until next time, bye guys.